Well, today I have a new book for you. It's not totally new. It's Raggedy Ann's Merriest Christmas, and it was first came out in 1952. I think that was before most of you were born. And it's by Johnny Gruel and illustrations by Tom Snickson. Marcella finished hanging the last Christmas wreath at the nursery window and turned around with a happy smile. "There, dollies," she said. "Now we're all ready for Christmas. Doesn't the room look lovely?" Of course the dolls would not answer her as long as Marcella was in the room, but as soon as she left, everyone started to speak at once. "Aren't the silver bells beautiful?" asked Babette, the French doll. "I like the red and white striped candy canes," said Raggedy Andy. Frederica and Henry, the Dutch dolls, Percy, the policeman, Cleety the clown, Uncle Clem, the Scotch doll, all the others joined in. "Shh," said Raggedy Ann. "I think I hear Marcella coming back." Raggedy Ann was the leader of the nursery. She was only a rag doll with shoe-button eyes and yarn hair, but she was the most beloved of them all. Everyone agreed that this was because of the candy heart with "I love you" printed on it, which was sewn in her cotton stuffing. You can see him there? Oh, it's a real old paper too. "We mustn't let Marcella hear us," warned Raggedy Ann. Sure enough, in a minute Marcella opened the door. The dolls sat very still. I forgot to do the most important thing," Marcella told them. "I must write a letter to Santa Claus." The little girl sat down at her desk and took out paper and pencil. "Dear Santa Claus," she said out loud, and then there was only the sound of Marcella's writing. The dolls watched silently. When Marcella left, there was much excitement again. They all wanted to know what Marcella had written to Santa Claus. Let's just take a peek at the letter," said Cleety the clown. "Oh yes, let's," agreed the other dolls. Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy looked surprised. "Oh, Cleety," Raggedy Ann exclaimed, "you know it isn't polite to read other people's mail. Where are your manners?" asked Raggedy Andy. Cleety hung his head. The other dolls looked ashamed too. But Raggedy's, Uncle Clem the Scotch doll argued. "Marcella is so good to us. Maybe when Santa comes, we can help her get her wish." "Well, if it's to help," began Raggedy Ann, but I'm still not very sure it's good manners." All the dolls crowded around the desk. "Go on, Raggedy Ann," they said. "Read the letter." Raggedy Ann picked up the piece of paper. "Dear Santa Claus," she began, "please bring me a real live puppy dog for my nursery. Love, Marcella." There was silence in the room. Then everyone started to speak at once. "What a wonderful idea! A puppy dog in a nursery. He could take care of them when Marcella was away at school, and he would be fun for Marcella too. I wonder if Santa Claus carries real-life puppy dogs in his pack," said Raggedy Andy. All the dolls looked surprised. They had not thought of that. "What shall we do?" asked Cleety the clown. "Why, we must stay awake on Christmas Eve and find out whether Santa has a real live puppy dog," and Raggedy Ann at last. The dolls nodded. Raggedy Ann continued. "We must tell him how important it is for Marcella to get her wish on Christmas. I'm sure he will understand." The dolls could hardly wait till Christmas. It was fun to watch Marcella trim the little Christmas trees in the nursery, just like the big tree downstairs. At Christmas Eve, Marcella carried all the dolls downstairs to watch her hang up her stocking. Then she took them back up to the nursery and tucked them into bed. See that? "No, no, Santa Claus," said Raggedy Andy. "Marcella wants a real live puppy dog. Oh, did I skip a page? I did. Oh, page stop. But the dolls couldn't sleep. Suddenly there was a sound of sleigh bells on the roof. Here he comes, they whispered as they heard a noise in the chimney, and in a twinkling there was Santa Claus. Well, 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 my good friends, chuckled the rosy little man. I thought I'd pay you a visit before I left the presents downstairs. He took the pack of toys off his back and set it carefully on the floor. He sat down in the biggest chair he could find. Now, what does Marcella want this year? He asked. I have some very nice music boxes. No, said the dolls. That's not what she wants. Is it a pair of skates? Asked Santa. No, no, Santa Claus, said Raggedy Andy. Marcella wants a real live puppy dog. Don't you have any of those in your pack? Santa straightened up. He scratched his head. Dear, dear, he said. So she does. But to tell you the truth, I don't have any. It's very difficult to carry real live puppy dogs in my pack. It's a long, cold ride from the North Pole, you know. Won't you see if you can get one for her? Asked Raggedy Ann. I'll do my best, promised Santa, and in the meantime I'll leave some other things here, just in case the dog doesn't arrive. And before the dolls could say Merry Christmas, Santa was gone. The dolls climbed back into their beds. Suddenly, Percy, the policeman, raised himself on his elbow. What was that? He asked. Quick, said Raggedy Ann, as she jumped out of her bed. Someone help me open the window. What is it? What is it? Asked the other dolls. All I can see is a shadow, replied Raggedy Ann. But if I can get 2 strong men to help me, I think you will all have a wonderful surprise. Here we are, said Percy the policeman and Uncle Clem the Scotch doll. Before anyone else could answer, over the sill and out the window climbed the 3 dolls. In a few minutes, with much thumping and shoving, they were back again. Oh, cried the other dolls, clapping their hands with joy, for with them was a little white puppy with black eyes and a tail that kept wagging. Santa Claus must have sent her, said Raggedy Andy. Just then something flashed past the window, and the dolls heard the jingle of a sleigh bell. Sleigh bells. Thank you, Santa, they called. Goodbye and a Merry Christmas to you. Raggedy Ann put her hands on her hips. I will find a warm place for the dog to sleep, she said, and then we must be very quiet till morning. Almost as soon as it was light, Marcella jumped out of her bed. She scooped up all the dolls and rushed downstairs. Marcella hardly looked at the beautiful tree with all the presents under it, for right underneath her stocking, just where Raggedy Ann had put her during the night, was a real live puppy dog. Oh, it's just what I wanted, said Marcella, as she picked up the little white dog and held her close. We shall call her, what shall we call her? She asked. She thought for a moment, and the dolls tried to think too. I know, she cried. We'll call her Millicent. And she set the dog down near her dolls. Marcella ran upstairs to tell her mother and father of her wonderful Christmas present. Merry Christmas, Marcella, called the dolls softly as she left, and Millicent gave a little bark as if to say, Merry Christmas to everyone. Now, this story goes back a long time ago, over 70 years or so. But the one thing I just wanted to add, that, you know, Santa never promises anything, but I can say that you'll be very happy with what you get. Okay? Hope you enjoyed the story. Bye-bye.